This past holiday season, I visited Lithuania, a small European country that sits on the Baltic Sea. And as much as I was enjoying the historical architecture, the amazing over-the-top Christmas decorations, and delicious homemade style food, I couldn't help but think about the country's proximity to Russia, the ongoing war in Ukraine, and with it, the obviously good reason for strong self-defense. And then all of a sudden, an idea hit me. What kind of gun culture does Lithuania have? Lithuania has proclaimed its independence from Russian control in 1990 with the collapse of the USSR, but in many ways it is still being haunted by the memories of the totalitarian Soviet regime, and like many post-Soviet states, it has been steadily trying to break away from decades-old political traditions that have been forcefully instilled within it by the Soviet rule.
With European Union, a lot of things changed and it became, less strict, more into society.
Lithuania has been a member of EU and NATO since 2004, yet the 2022 full-scale Russian invasion of Ukraine has undoubtedly got many Lithuanians worried and questioning the strength of the NATO resolve, should the Russian Federation decide to expand its military aggression further. With that, an interest in the private ownership of weapons has re-emerged dramatically. But what are the Lithuanian laws like today? Well, let's start with a few notable facts and statistics. Gun ownership has been on the rise in Lithuania since 1995, and now there's at least one gun in 8% of the households.
Shotgun you can buy for self-defense.
Total number of registered firearms is 181,000 as of 2022. A permit is required for ownership, and all permits are issued by the Lithuanian Police Department. Although the right to possess is not constitutionally guaranteed like in the US, permits are shall issue, and police is forbidden from refusing granting a permit without a valid justification. The minimum age to own firearms is 23 years old for self-defense handguns, 21 years for semi-automatic rifles, 18 years for semi-automatic shotguns and smoothbore self-defense weapons, and 16 years for sporting firearms. Concealed carry is allowed with a special permit, and should the police decide to deny one, it must be with a good documented reason. There should be no round in the chamber while carrying, except revolvers, which should not be cocked with the exception of direct threat to person's health or life. But how did gun ownership affect crime rates in Lithuania over time? Well, let's take a look. Total number of gun deaths per year is around 30 and is on a general decline. Gun homicide on sharp decline from 252 in 1995 to just 2 in 2019. Crime with guns is down sharply since 1995 as well. Gun suicides are on the decline, as well as gun accidents. While the gun ownership in Lithuania has been steadily gaining traction, and with the crime rates being on a downtrend, a clear step in a positive direction, I was curious as to what kind of guns one can actually own. My somewhat biased perception, based on the notoriously strict European laws, was that it would probably be limited to some hunting rifles, pump or break barrel shotguns, and perhaps some handguns. So I decided to visit a few gun stores to see if my assumptions were correct. Alright, so here we are in the center of Vilnius, and we're gonna go check out some of the gun stores. This is one of them right here. There's actually 8 stores around the Vilnius area. We're not going to go into all of them, but we're going to check out a few just to see what equipment they sell, maybe ask some questions to see what the laws are. So let's go check it out. We got an AR-15 on the door, so that's a good sign. As soon as we entered, we were impressed with the selection of firearms, something we did not expect to see. And luckily for us, the store owner has kindly agreed to give us a full overview of the Lithuanian laws, as well as show us some of the firearms, including very rare ones, in his inventory. What's your name?
Marius.
Yuri.
Marius, I'm owner of this place.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for letting us do this. Just wanted to see what the gun culture is in Lithuania. I don't know much about it, but I'm curious about just all the gun enthusiasts in the US. We have a gun culture there, so I was curious what it is in other countries. I just want to see, I guess, if I wanted to get a gun, let's say I need to be a citizen, obviously. What are the rules? How long it takes? How much it costs? That sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm quite familiar with US gun culture, traveling to the SHOT Show every year.
Okay.
So for the last 12 years. Watching as well YouTube channels like all those famous ones, Iraq Veteran and 8888. And it's when you start discussions with US guys, it's sometimes it's hard to explain like what is the difference and what is the benefits we had here. Especially for people, the part of the people who thinks Europe is a one country. So sometimes it's quite egocentric because they think that they are the best of the best for gun owners. But then when you start looking into particular examples, what works, what doesn't work, and it's many differences and many similarities as well in gun culture. I'm not talking about whole Europe because every country is different. Some knives are not allowed. Yep. But I can speak about my country and neighboring countries where I travel a lot, shoot and have friends. In the biggest no for American probably, and it's okay with us, it's a gun registration. I mean, while all the Second Amendment guys will say no to registration because the government will take our guns, well, in Europe it's mandatory, it's needed, that's how you control where the gun is. But as well as kind of like allowing us to trace so it doesn't end up in the bad guys' hands, as well as we will never have a situation in the street of Vilnius when someone stops you with a gun saying give me your wallet, because it's just those kind of situations do not exist here. So the gun registration is everywhere in Europe, but as well as this registration allows you to buy from other countries, which is non-existing in US. It's almost impossible to import like exotic firearms from abroad. Correct. So when people are saying, registration is bad, like remove your freedoms, and that's a guy saying who just imported like a really mint good RPD machine gun from Poland, cut in half, imported in the States and then reassemble it, kind of destroyed the historic firearm. Then for me it's like I would rather register that instead. So there is some differences. So talking about the gun law in Lithuania, everyone who wants a gun needs to have a permit. This allows us to control that, mentally ill people, the people with a criminal record, and so on, doesn't have a guns. To have a permit, we have 4 options actually, and that you choose, depending of what you want to do with that gun. First option is the most popular one. It's concealed carry weapons. So we allowed concealed carry in Lithuania without the round in the chamber. So you apply for this license. You finish the course when they train you how to first of all on the law. So you need to know the law, when you can shoot, when you can't. Sure. Like we have a castle law in Lithuania, similar like in US. Yep. But so some differences when the attacker is when it's legitimate to shoot someone. That's helpful to know. Yeah, so train on the law, a little bit practical things like how to shoot, how to load and so on, how to disassemble the gun, and some maintenance and so on. After this, you do exam in the police, and then you have a permit. You need to have a safe at house where you safely keep the gun when you're not using it. So it's it's absolutely okay to have it 24/7 on you, but if you're consuming alcohol or you're leaving or you're traveling, then you leave that in the safe. If you have more than 6 guns at home, then you need alarm. And if you have more than 12, you need to alarm that attaches to the security company that reacts to that alarm. So this is the conceal permit. So it's allowed to have pistols, revolvers, and the shotguns at home. So you can have a pistols, revolvers, so that you can walk around with them, and have a shotgun at home for self-defense. That's one permit. That's one permit. unlimited quantity, so different from many European countries when they allow you one gun for a sport shooting, one gun for self-defense, and just or one caliber per person. In Lithuania, you can have a concealed carry permit, have a big safe, and have 30 guns for each day of the month.
Yeah.
So according to your mood and so on. So we don't limit the person on how much options he have. As well as you can have as many ammo you want. I mean, there is no restriction on ammo. The only restriction on ammo is hollow points is not allowed for self-defense because we have different approach to the self-defense. So here we just stop the threat and then we need to give him first aid, do everything possible to save his life. Because now it's like he's stop it, he's not giving us threat, so like now we act as human beings, not animals. So that's a self-defense. Second most popular, and this does not allow you to have rifles. You cannot have rifles for self-defense because you cannot prove the self-defense in the 300 meters range that you were attacked. So you use rifles.
Okay.
So that's the option, the idea. So second is the hunting license. So you need to finish the course on the hunting, including a lot of knowledge about animals, when you can shoot them when they have babies, what does the antlers means, all that stuff.
Sure.
Exam, the same safe, and you have a hunting license. So hunting license is all the shotguns, all the rifles you use in hunting. So that's as well quite popular in Lithuania. Hunters, big community.
Yeah.
The third was sport shooting. So whatever sport you're doing with the guns, you can apply for that license. It's the most liberal license. You don't need any police exam. You do this in your club, shooting club or association you belong to, like IPSC, IDPA, whatever clay shooting you're doing. And then you can have the guns there from 16 years old. I mean, quite young, and you cannot carry that. If you're shooting IPSC with a pistol, you cannot conceal carry that pistol.
Right.
So that's a different license.
Yep.
But the same gun can be under other license as well. So if you're 22 years old and have a sports pistol, you can apply for another license and carry this again on you. So this sport shooting license, absolutely the most probably liberal, and it allows you to have pistols, rifles, shotguns, whatever you want, bows and so on. And the fourth is the newest one. It's basically for territory defense of Lithuania.
Got it.
We have two organizations that is not a regular army. One is closer to National Guard in US. So this is a weekend warriors, let's say. You are in the reserves. You have a service in the normal military on weekends, on your free time, or a month during the year. But you still belong to the military, and once you are drafted for war, so on, you are part of military. But it's more like National Guard.
Yeah.
So if there is a major conflict, you had in Iraq or Afghanistan, National Guard was deployed there, as well as Lithuanian National Guard was deployed to Afghanistan and Kosovo and other places. So this is National Guard, so those guys can buy their personal guns on that license. And then another is the Rifleman Union. And that's what you call in US the militia. Like in US you're saying well-regulated militia. So this is well-regulated militia because that's organized. They have H quarters, you belong to that, you have your insignia and so on, but you buy your own guns, body armor and so on yourself. You organize yourself into platoons and so on, and kind of according to military organization. You train together with the military or send alone. And you have right and then to buy the guns. So before that, it was rifles, pistols, all the stuff you need in semi-auto. From July this year, it's allowed to have it full auto. So that Rifleman Union, the fourth permit allows you to have a silencer, while all the rest cannot have silencers. And it's easy to get. I mean, it's not that like in US you wait forever. You fill that forms and you wait and so on.
You can expedite it, but
yeah. So those guys can just get in and buy the stuff. and they can have a full autos, I mean, rifles, machine guns, and so on, and as well as even normal pistols for self-defense and so on.
That's surprising to hear, definitely, because I did not imagine that Lithuania would have even a lot of these guns available, because like you said, Europe, in a lot of countries, you can't have anything close to this, but that's good.
So from other differences, I mean, to talk about is that what is the most popular in Lithuania from, let's say, from AR-15s? So in Lithuania, if a normal guy coming into the store, he will buy 11 inches or 14, while most of American guns is 16, due to that NFA law, and
you're well versed in our laws.
So we don't have SBR in general. We don't have that meaning in Lithuania, because the rifle is rifle. It has the same magazine, the same round, and for the fact that it has even less velocity.
Right.
So we don't have this like
air pistol. Like that would be an air pistol in the US, right? With the brace.
Yeah. So this is imported from US. That's why it has that nonsense on it.
Exactly.
The pistol brace. So usually we remove all the braces and just put the normal stock. We don't have like a ATF sitting and discussing 55 person and getting salary and discussing is this brace is shoulderable, if you can shoulder it or not.
Right.
So we just have you need stock. You have a stock. It's not SBR in Lithuania. It's the same gun as 16 inches gun, so you can buy it with the same like permit and so on. So that's kind of where we are more liberal and common sense. Because for me, that brace stuff and so on is not common sense. I mean, calling the rifle pistol, it doesn't make sense for me at all.
For the longest time, I couldn't understand why they even call it that. Once I started looking into it, it's just to go around the ridiculous laws that they put in there. So,
Or like putting like a forward grip on the pistol and making criminal act doesn't make sense for me as well.
Yeah, do you know what they call it? So when you take, let's say a pistol, like a handgun, and you put a forward grip on it. So it's not a pistol anymore, but it's not a rifle. So they have a special category called any other weapon.
Other firearm.
And that's still regulated by the NFA, and you can, if you don't have a permit, you can go to jail. But yes, that's...
So we don't have this nonsense. 10 inches, if you have a place where to have it, I mean safely, gun room or safes, you can have as many guns you want. No one will restrict you. Police cannot say you cannot buy 5 like Glocks in the same model. You can, and you can buy at the same time. I mean, and there is a lot of nonsense we don't have in Lithuania that other countries have. Let's say in Poland, if you come and buy 2 Glock 17s, they will say no, you cannot have 2 because you have 1 and that should fulfill your needs.
Right.
Here we have like a more like a citizen freedoms when they say like if I decide to have 5, well, why not?
Right. You only have 1, so it's makes sense.
So on the cost side, I don't know. I did it quite years ago. I believe around few hundred. All the process will cost you, besides the cost of the sale. If it's like a rifleman union stuff, that militia stuff, it's free of charge because you don't pay anything. It's like just minor taxes, like $10-20 for the permit. You need to reapply for license every 5 years. That's made just for the reason that they check if you still have guns, if you don't sell them to criminals or lose them in the boating accident. And are you still in a good health, especially mental? So you need to apply for that medical check again after 5 years. And that's kind of the only burden you have, and that's it. I mean, you shoot in the ranges. We don't have that law of public land where you go in a public land and shoot whatever any direction you want. This actually really frightening me, because last time I was climbing in the mountains and some random idiot started shooting with his AK, in all directions.
That's irresponsible.
Yes.
Usually, where I go, it's not like that. But I can imagine that somebody
Yeah.
could do that.
For the person who knows a little bit about firearms, that was quite crazy for me.
Yeah, that is weird.
So we only shoot in the official ranges. We have some around Vilnius here. We have indoor ranges as well. And many of those militia guys, they shoot in the military training grounds. So it's way more funnier with the infrastructure and so on.
And if you get the, I guess the militia, the rifle permit, does that, so that's just that category and it doesn't transfer over into any other. So if you want a rifle and you get that permit and now you want a shotgun or a pistol, you have to get another permit? It's not a...
No, I mean, if you're the hunter,
Yeah,
you can have rifles, shotguns, on the same permit.
okay.
So if I'm Rifleman Union, I buy any gun I want. Once you apply, and then it's allow you to buy. Like every permit says here, it's allowed for you to have pistols and carry those. It's allowed for you to have rifles, shotguns, and have them in the storage. It's allowed for you to have, again, pistols for service needs. So if I'm in uniform, doing my a task somewhere. Like last summer we did a patrolling the border when we had that immigrant crisis. I can carry that gun overtly, and then I meet policeman. He says, "Oh, you are on duty." Yes, I am. Here is my permit. Okay, now you can have overtly. I can conceal carry in my free time, and then during my duty time, I can overtly carry that in leg holster and so on. So yeah, but you get that license. That license has some boundaries, like hunting only hunting rifles, or but you still can have a sniper rifle, because how can you prove if that's hunting or sniper?
Right, it's pretty much boiled down to the same thing.
Yeah, so and then and you go and buy. You don't need to apply for every pistol, like a revolver and so on. So I have this permit.
Yeah.
I go to the store. I say I would like this one. They you pay money, they put the record on you in the computer, and you go home. Yeah, that's it.
You're pre-screened, basically.
Yeah, this one is like a pre-screening.
Yes.
Like if in US you need to wait that cool down period, and when they check background and so on.
It might be only for handguns, because when I was buying, I don't know if it depends on the state, but when I was buying my handgun and my AR, I had to just wait for a background check, which took 10 minutes. Before we send my information to the FBI, and they get an answer back. It's usually pretty quick. I don't remember waiting. Maybe certain states, I'm not sure what that is, but it depends, I guess.
Yeah, well, when you look at all those wraps around the pistol grips and
that's
magazine release on the ring and so on, all that stuff. Yeah, probably it depends which state you're comparing to.
Yes, because each state is almost like a separate country in a way. They have their own laws, their own firearm laws.
Yeah.
A lot of them are the same, but a lot of them are not. Like I'm in Arizona, one set of laws, California, which is next door, completely different set of laws. I mean, you should see what they do to the AR-15s to make them compliant. It's a travesty. I mean, they have to remove, have to make a buttstock look a certain way. They have to remove the pistol grip, to remove the flash hider. At the end of the day, they have an abomination that, just to go around these laws.
Well, I'm the fan of southern states, and most of my friends are there. But being to California, it's terrible.
It is, and their crime isn't any better than in Arizona or
the crime in Chicago, where it's not allowed to have guns.
I used to live in New York, so I know all about it. That's part of the reason why I left, because I just couldn't take it anymore. When I got my in New York, you have to get a permit. So when I got my permit the first time, I started looking, well, what can I have? And they give you a list of things you can't have, which is basically everything here would be
most of it.
Yeah, and I'm asking them, well, what can I have? What can I have? And they say, well, we don't tell you what you can have. You have to basically get a gun. Then go to us and we'll tell you if it's
legal or not.
Okay, and I'm saying, well, what do I do with the gun if it's illegal? Well, that's your problem. I think you just kind of put it this way. So at the end of the day, what I had in New York was a Mosin Nagant, a Mauser K98 from World War II, and I had a Benelli pump shotgun. That's all I was able to really get without getting into any kind of issues. So, no, thank you for that overview.
So there is even better countries like Czech Republic.
Yes, I heard about that.
So Czech Republic is quite liberal on the guns. Latvia, Estonia is quite similar to Lithuania. Poland they have some restrictions, but they still old school, good country.
Yeah.
Now lately they introduced European ban on magazines. So that means like you cannot go from the street into a store and buy the magazine as it was before.
Yeah.
It was like same like in US. Doesn't need any license to have it.
Yeah.
And now it's more strict. So it's certain group like sports shooters can have it, like that militia can have it, but like the normal guy for a plinking in the shooting range, they think he cannot have it. So this is the only probably difference now that get worse, for us. But most of things get better actually. And it's more geopolitics for us than freedom of blinking and shooting into beer cans. Most of the people that buy a gun in Lithuania are more like responsible because they have a bigger purpose for that gun.
Sure.
Like protecting their family and their country.
Yeah.
So they train, they know how to use it. This is a big thing as well. We really trying to push people into training. There is some organizations that do training, so that we don't have those people who just bought the gun and have no idea how to call it, what kind of caliber it uses. Yeah.
When somebody gets it and they don't know what to do with it or how to use it, it's not gonna do them much good. Most likely.
And it's mostly dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. And okay. And any limits on the magazine capacity?
So normal capacity now is 10 rounds on the rifles. And 20 on the pistols. So that's for like a normal guy on the street.
And shotgun?
Shotgun is not limited if it's not detachable magazine. So.
But if it is, it's 10 rounds.
Yeah, 10 rounds is okay. But if you are a rifleman union or like a sport shooter, then it's unlimited. So you can use whatever you want.
Okay.
But I mean, for a sniper, like a hunter and so on, 10 rounds still okay. For the military guys, well, you can use whatever you want. Beta Max, C Max, D Max, and so on, belt fed.
I was talking to an acquaintance here, and he I think he's works for the government, and he said that they're about to pass, or they've already passed, a law basically expanding the gun rights even further. So he said, fully automatics will be accessible. What else did he say? I think. Oh, he even talked about grenade launchers. I don't know. Have you heard about this?
No, the grenade launchers will not be allowed to have.
He said this is going to be signed by the president in 2 weeks.
No, this week there was discussion in the parliament, and there is a project on that I read yesterday, and there is certain things. They call it A category weapons. So A category means all the military assets. So it includes rockets and machine guns, everything. So they just put quite easy to understand frame what is allowed. So it's full autos. By certain caliber, so 12.7 is max, so you cannot have artillery and so on.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. What you see now is we're just getting back on track with the supply. It's now not a secret. In February, when the war in Ukraine started, the shelves were absolutely empty. So the people bought everything we had at that time. And now we are just resupplying stuff. So usually from US we were taking many brands, like even the ones that are not existing anymore, like Bushmaster, DPMS, Daniel Defense, Air Precision. This is probably the most we have. We have some Keltex. We are official dealer of HK.
Okay.
BNT, that is not existing now because all sold. And optics, we carry Trigicon from US. Shadow Systems from US as well. Doing imports ourselves, know how ITAR works and all the forms.
Okay. Any? Do you get any BCM rifles?
Yeah, we had BCM rifles and they were short on the supply. Last year we had some, I mean like 4 models or so, but now it's out. And there is some collection of like a
Yeah, those are interesting.
collection. You know, we're buying some old stuff, whatever we can find. And
Is that the FNC? I can't tell what that is.
no. You mean the second from the left?
Second from the left.
Second from this is HK11.
HK11. Yeah, it looked like just a longer FNC.
No, that's
But that's even different brand.
So that's HK machine gun.
It's a machine gun.
Quite rare gun. The last time I checked in US, you can buy one for 25,000.
Probably at least that. Yeah.
So here in Europe, I paid like 2,000.
Yeah.
For it. So this is probably the main thing when people start talking about, you know, gun laws and so on. Like in US, only extremely rich people can have full autos. Here,
Or very dedicated people who spend all their money.
here, like when now it's full auto allowed, usually full auto gun, since it's military, supplies and so on, it's usually cost less than the normal Air-15 from the shelf. So like
really
this
cool.
is original RPK from Soviet times. I mean, all the bells and whistles. I mean, for AK guys.
What's the next one? Is that by the way, is that the HK MP5?
Yeah, that's HK SP5.
SP5. So this is not the selective fire. Oh, okay. This is semi-automatic.
That's civilian.
Cool. But otherwise, it's made by HK, right? This one.
Yeah, that's made in German by HK, and I don't know if they are.
2,800 euros. And this is taxes included.
Yeah, we always.
It's another good thing about Europe.
advertise.
It's what you see is what you get. They just, I think, came out in the U.S. market.
Yeah.
I don't remember how much, but I guess maybe something similar. I think it's in the 2,000 range.
I actually don't understand how they behaving in U.S. market, because this is the biggest market in the world, and they like releasing only part what they can do.
Yeah. Okay, so this will be a 10 round.
This is now 10 round, but we have up to 30, like a normal size.
Very cool.
So the one you asked for, I mean, this is that's actually Second World War. U.S. shipped a lot of Garand rifles to
I couldn't tell if
Italy.
it's a Garand or the M1.
You can tell because it's absolutely remade it.
Totally.
So they shipped a lot of those Garand rifles to Italy. Italian government after the war was thinking what to do with them.
Would you mind if I take a look at it? If that's okay.
Yeah, we'll just unlock it. So it's only a part since we are going to open the shooting range soon, and so you can usually shoot all of those guns.
Do I need a permit to shoot or
No, you don't need.
Okay, very good.
Same with the kids. I mean, if you shoot with the kids, well, they don't have permit.
Yeah.
But it's allowed to train your kids. So they had a lot of those. And
That is
like
something that you're not gonna see in the US probably.
No, you will see.
I've never seen it.
A few videos when they do a review. Eric from Iraq Veteran AK88, he have one with the stock, I believe, the full stock.
Okay.
This one is like for Alpine Jägers in the mountains and paratroopers. So actually, the Beretta company took the Garand and remade it into 308 from 3006. So we shortened it a little bit action. Add some cool stuff like a bipod, as well as this stuff, which is made for throwing grenades.
Grenades.
And that's the actual length
Yeah.
of the barrel.
Wow. And how much is this sell for here?
I don't know how much sell. We don't have those.
You're not selling this?
Yeah, we don't have it as an offer. I just bought one, I believe in Poland, for just funny money. I mean, it's reasonable, really reasonable price. So it's quality Italian made. I mean, some nice stuff here. That's winter trigger with the gloves and mittens. And nice stuff to collection, and we're going to rent that to people so you can shoot.
Oh.
You know, GM, that's a Milt AK from Poland. Only a few thousand made. So GM is.
That looks like in great condition. It's like a brand new
It's a new.
AKM.
Made in the 60s.
Uh-huh.
So why it's Milt? Because it was intended to use with grenades. I mean, it's for launching grenades here with attachments. So gas block regulars here that you never see in the UK.
Wow.
And the conditions.
It looks
new.
It looks like it just came out of the factory.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's made in the 60s and bought that for 600 or something.
That's a deal. Yeah, you don't get these kind of prices in the US anymore, unfortunately. And what's that one next to the stair? Right next
This
to it?
one?
Yeah.
That's a Turkish MP5.
It's a Turkish MP5.
Yeah. So that's MKE. Probably you will see it in US under Zenith or some other brand.
Okay. I don't think I have.
Someone imports them, I
I'll
believe.
look it up.
MKE is a Turkish government company.
Okay. How are they compared to the HK?
Yeah, well, it's not German quality.
Reliability issues?
But they bought official license. All the toolings they use is quite okay. The only difference, if you want to build the exact MP5 like a historical firearm, it will accept all the accessories and so on.
Got it.
While SP5 is remade, so you will never attach like a full auto loader and so on.
Okay.
So this one is like a real deal.
Does Lithuania manufacture any guns? I don't think so.
We only have the only company that has a license to manufacture the gun is this company. So we were doing a lot of AR-15 assembling.
Okay.
Like we were importing parts and doing our own recite here, our own sauce. And assembling our guns. So this is AR-15, so we have that license, and the other company that's doing something with the guns is GG, so it's quite popular ammunition. One of the newest factories of ammunition in the world, so they do 308 and 5.56.
Okay, GG?
Yeah, GGG, triple G.
Triple G, and that's Lithuanian.
That's Lithuanian.
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, so that's a government factory, quite reasonable prices and quite good. So some years ago, Dylan brought here a Gatling gun for test and trial with the Lithuanian army. So we loaded manually 18,000 rounds for them of this ammo. And they shot in no malfunction.
No misfeeds.
Yeah.
That's good. That's very good. And what are the laws about body armor? Do you need any sort of permit? Or?
The only law that kind of applies to this is when you import, you need some kind of permit, as this is like a military strategic item.
Okay.
But once in the country, it doesn't request any license or something. You can buy as many you want. Civilian can have it, no problem.
Okay.
Any level.
Same for helmets, I'm assuming.
Yeah, helmet, like gas mask and so on.
Does Lithuania make anything that's any tactical gear at all?
No, we do. One of the biggest body armors factories. U.S. company is Firearm. Everyone knows.
Firearm, yes.
Yeah.
They call it
Yeah, they do. Also, they have a body armor division.
Yeah.
So it's made in Lithuania.
Is that right? I did not know that. Okay.
And that's Lithuanian, I guess, how it is.
Lithuanian stuff, guys. High quality. I'm gonna test it out when I get back.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen it, but I just haven't looked. But I will.
I have some actually bloggers who they shoot reviews on the videos on YouTube. Like I usually shoot GG and especially 308s.
Yeah.
They say they are
They
beautiful.
like it. Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So like you can find us on social media. Thunder Armory, our name is.
Under Armour. Okay. Instagram or.
Instagram as well, and on YouTube we're not that active because we're too busy. If someone wants to find us, you can find us. If you are in Vilnius, stop by. Hopefully next year we'll have a shooting range with the cool guns to try.
I'm gonna be here in the summer, hopefully.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see about
So
that.
it's in the city center, so it'll be a store and the shooting range.
Yeah.
A nice area with laser training facility with laser shot, like a simulator and so on.
Awesome. That sounds great. Thank you so much, Mariusz. Really appreciate it. It was
No
great
problem.
talking to you. And thank you for supporting Ukraine, by the way. So I'm
Yeah,
originally
well,
from there. So.
That's the different things we're doing. I mean, I did that in 2014, and now when the war started, we have another organization, Shooting Club, that is NGO, So on that shooting club, we gathered a lot of funds, and you know, I was shipping to the right units where my friends fight before. And from the beginning, we did like 300,000 euros in stuff like body armors, helmets, you know, hundreds.
Thank you very much. That's really appreciated. Yeah. Lithuania helps like nobody. If everybody helped like Lithuania helps, this would have been over.
Yeah, Poland. You know, Poland helps us as well. I mean, I was there like on the border like 8 times. You know, in the beginning of the war, and when I saw like what Polish people are doing with the refugees, you know, when the refugees comes in on the border, and like hundreds of Polish people with the food, soup, drinks, you know, waiting for those people to feed them, you know, and so on. That was really touching.
Very appreciated. By the way, do you have this? You sell this shirt here, or do you bought it somewhere else?
No, this is the gift from Ukraine to me.
Oh my God, this is amazing. Yeah, I like that. That's the don't tread on me, snake.
Yeah, that makes kind of other perspective with Ukraine on
Yes, it does. Okay.
Yeah, so you know, I got it from there, just because of I was traveling there a lot.
Yeah, makes sense. Well, okay. Well, thank you again so much. We're gonna get going.
Yeah.
So we'll see each other next time. Hopefully, take care.
Bye.
To our further surprise, not only did it become clear that pretty much most of the guns available to the Americans are also available for private purchase in Lithuania, but I was even able to spot a brand new Franchi SPAS-15 shotgun for sale, the importation of which has been banned in the US since the 1994 assault weapons ban. At the second gun store I visited briefly, it was just under 1,200 euros brand new with taxes included, a real steal considering the fact that only 180 were imported into the US before the ban, which means that those did make it through now cost a small fortune. In fact, the only one I was able to find in the US recently sold online for nearly $12,000, and that's in pre-owned condition.
Now that we got a pretty good idea of the Lithuanian gun ownership and its laws, it was time to go out and do some shooting at one of the local indoor ranges. The facility felt crude compared to some of the indoor ranges that I've been to in the US, but served its basic purpose. The weapon selection was rather limited, but covered all bases, and was enough to give an intro shooter a taste of various types of firearms. Range. Yeah, but pretty cool. So you got the AK, you got the Mosin Nagant, you got the AK with a weird muzzle brake, and then you got the AR, a 12 gauge, and I'm not sure what this is. Looks a little bit kind of like a Kel-Tec, but I don't know. I'll need to handle it to see it. Rangemaster Sergey was around to supervise and give a quick overview of each type of weapon, which was helpful for my Lithuanian friend Vis, who recently started getting involved with target shooting.
943.
Ага. 43-го.
У нас есть второй такой же, на нем зарубки есть.
Ага.
С войны.
43. Да, значит, бандит себя бакулкас.
The prices per shot were not cheap, however, and ranged from about 50 euro cents for a 22 LR all the way up to 3.5 euros per shot of a 44 Magnum.
Лайком двем ранком. И потом угарить тип. Револьвер угарим артик. Ти там как берем что? Китай нас. Что есть? Getting ready to shoot the CZ-75, the classic one. They were pretty cool, weathered kind of version. Not modernized, so I've never shot it. That should be interesting. It fires 9mm. These are full metal jackets. So just loading 10 rounds and see if we can hit the bad guy on the left. All right, let's check out our shots.
Oh, I hit the arm. What's that? Huh?
We'll go 2 in the head.
Couple in the face, shot his gun, his hand, and this. Mostly shoulder, and one right in the
I got a
forehead.
headshot.
0.6. Not great, not terrible.
Yeah, this guy's a gunner. Cool. Steel magazines, the original. We'll be shooting a Polish AK with a very weird flash suppressor. Oh, these are marked. Oh, these are even marked on the side. Look at this. That's interesting. I've never seen that before. Scorpio. All right. These are pretty tight going in. Not an AK guy, but compared to the AR-15, this is a little tight.
I thought it's good when it's tight.
I guess so, but maybe not with guns. You need to put it at the angle.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the AK thing. Yep. There you go. Alright, so I got the CZ83 here. It's I would say this is a compact handgun, probably from the late 80s, maybe early 90s, has some wear on it. It's pretty cool looking. I like it, so let's check it out. So it's got the thumb safety here, cocking lever, so let's do it. 9mm.
One other place I visited during my trip was the site of a former Lukiškės prison, which is located in the center of Vilnius. A once feared prison complex built in the early 20th century during the Russian Empire era, it is now open to the public and offers visitors a rare glimpse of what communist prison life was like not so long ago. While Lukiškės housed different kinds of inmates over the decades, many were political victims of the Soviet repressions, who often received harsh sentences for resisting the tyrannical communist rule, including execution by firing squad. While walking through the cold, decrepit halls and cell blocks, and imagining what it must have been like to spend years of incarceration because of ideological crimes against the tyrannical state, I was once again reminded of the great importance of an armed society, something that the Lithuanians and other people of the former Soviet republics did not have. And with the recent Russian invasion of Ukraine, in an effort to roll back what the Soviets lost during the collapse of the USSR, and the Kremlin's seemingly desperate attempt to forcefully stitch together a new version of the Russian-led empire, a need for a strong self-defense and an armed population couldn't be more relevant. With the rising gun ownership in Lithuania, as well as the recent expanded civilian access to more types of guns, including AR-15 and AK platforms, the Lithuanian government seemed to have recognized the merits of a strong gun culture, while the Lithuanian people, in turn, seemed to have vowed to never be subjugated again.
You're watching Guest of Honor, and if you like our firearm content, be sure to blink that notification bell, as well as comment, like, and subscribe.